Hello, YouTube. It is me, Raina. I'm here to review a little bit of the Elseworlds crossover and the implications that it has for next year's crossover. Now, if you have not watched it, please watch it. This is going to be filled with spoilers on what happened and what's going to happen next year. So watch it first and come back. So, in my opinion, I think Elseworld was really good. I liked last year's crossover better because it included everybody. It felt like really epic having four shows crossover. And I know that had to be a really big toll to take with all the actors and everything, but they pulled it off and it was great. This one, it did feel smaller, but it also had new in there. We had Batwoman, we had more Superman, Lois Lane. We had a lot of new stuff in here to fit in with the stuff that we already know. And I think it was actually really kind of smart of them to go smaller this year so that next year they can go bigger with Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yes, you heard that right. The CWDC TV is doing Crisis on Infinite Earths fall 2019. Now, I'm not going to explain the whole thing about what this thing is about. I'll give you the bare bones. There's videos on YouTube about this that breaks it down to every minutiae detail of what this whole entire story means in DC Comics. But the bare bones is that it's going to bring all the Earths together. So that's the main goal of this particular big event. That means, Supergirl can merge in with Earth 1. So we ain't got to worry about going over there and trying to breach back and forth. It can be all one Earth. And I think that would be great. I think it's been a good amount of time that Supergirl had her own stuff. And I think it's going to be great to bring it in. But also, what happens is that Barry Allen and Kara die in this story. Now, before anyone gets their pitchforks and try to do anything, just calm down. Now, in this crossover in Elseworlds, we see the Monitor, who is basically kind of the main villain of Elseworlds. He's just there to monitor, of course, to see if Earth One can handle what is coming, the crisis, and basically what's coming is the Anti-Monitor, who is the big bad villain of this whole entire event. That's basically it's gonna be catastrophic, really, and that's how it is in the comics. And Oliver in the last part makes a deal with him because Superman sees that Kara and Barry die. Either that was within the last part of the crossover or in the future, who knows really. But Oliver makes a deal with him, and we don't know what the deal is. We can only assume. I'm going to assume that he gives over his life. And the reason why I have this theory, and so many others do too, I'm not the only one, but let's talk logistically here. Arrow is in its seventh season, and for the past few years, as each new show has spun off in this DC universe, and it's going to get bigger now with Batwoman coming next year. I've always wondered, like, okay, when Arrow ends, wouldn't that be kind of weird to like have one show not be there? Like how are they going to end Arrow and like, you know, are they going to reference Oliver? Is he still going to be a hero? It would be really weird. And to me, I never thought that Crisis would be really the perfect time to do that. And considering, Arrow started this whole entire thing, no matter what you think about the show, no matter what I think about the show, whatever criticism or whatever, it started this. Without Arrow, this would be nothing basically, and that would be an epic way for not only the character to go out, but for the whole entire show to go out. And if you've been watching Arrow this season, they've been doing flash forwards. I think I'm not sure how many years, but it's been a lot of years. I think it's been like at least like 2 decades. We've seen a grown up William, a grown up, Mad Dog's daughter is grown up. We've seen an older Diana Lane, who's the new Black Canary. We see an older Roy, you know, and we have not seen Oliver Queen, and Felicity is presumed quote unquote dead, so I don't know about that. But we have not heard anything about Oliver. The future looks really bleak and just, horrible. Everyone's, I don't know what happened here. But considering they decided to, they've planned this ahead of time. Usually with the crossovers, they announce them like, I think, either during Comic Con or during the end of the year when all the shows are over. to promote it or whatever. This is the first time they announced a crossover literally right after the recent one is over. Like it was really like, oh, here's Elseworlds, and then next year is Crisis. It's like they've been planning this, and really for the whole Crisis thing, they've been planning that ever since the Flash started. The newspaper headlines, Flash disappears, even though it says 2024. Now, I'm not sure how they're going to change that now that Nora is back in the Flash. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it's going to get changed within the Flash. We'll have to see in the second half of the season next year. Who knows? The same thing with Arrow with the Flash forwards. I'm not sure how they're going to hark into that. I have absolutely no idea. So there's that. That's my opinion, logistically speaking, considering how long the show has been going and how the events in Arrow has been happening this season. No, everyone know he's Green Arrow, the Flash forward. So to me, it seems like an ending. Who knows? But yeah, this is going to be a big event, and I'm not sure how they're going to really do this crossover. I would prefer a TV movie personally. They might do like a not 6 part, I'm sorry, a like 3 night event where they have 2 episodes per night to cover all 6 shows. Like this is a huge thing. Or they might do a Defenders type thing and push all the seasons back to 2020, and like the first, when the shows come back, like it's going to be like either 8 part series of Crisis, because it needs to have that. I'm not sure if they're able to do that on network television. I'm not sure what type of deal they have going with the CW. Who knows? But this is some big implications, and so I'm not sure what's going to happen. And y'all better be worried about your favorite characters, because this thing is Infinity War level. It's the same stakes as that. From like Marvel has Infinity War, DC has Crisis. So yeah, we're in for something epic here, and I cannot wait. Hopefully it lives up to expectations. I hope it does, considering how early they announced this. Is the earliest crossover they've announced. So what are your thoughts on this? What are your opinions? What do you think might happen? How do you think they're going to format this crossover? Will you like a TV special, a 6 part special, or a Defenders type thing where they do it like an actual TV show and have everybody on these shows? What are your thoughts? Leave them down below, and bye YouTube.